So I thought selling traffic cones would be simple. I thought it would be as simple as building a website, running some Google ads, and people would start buying my product. But that's not what happened. Instead, I had to learn the hard way of how people actually make decisions. Welcome to my channel, Under the Fig Tree FM, Faith in Motion. This is a channel where I share the things I learned from different ventures in my life. And today I want to talk about what I learned selling my first product ever, traffic cones. So this is the second year of the company's existence, Road Safety Warehouse, and the second year of me working for this type of company for sales. Road Safety Warehouse, they do sales for traffic equipment, anything traffic related. In this case, we're talking about traffic cones. And to be honest, the first year was definitely tough for the company. We weren't barely getting any conversions on the website. And it was me and another salesman, just us two, doing cold calls, calling people who would be interested in buying cones, like colleges, traffic companies, construction companies, anybody who would buy a traffic cone, we were calling. And it was definitely difficult for me for cold calls. I wasn't finding any type of, momentum with that. Even though I never quit, I still kept consistent with it. It just wasn't as, I didn't like it at all, to be honest with you. I don't like how you could call them, they could hang up, you can't get to the decision maker. There was a lot to it that I didn't like, just not me. But as I was doing it, I'm thankful that I was wise enough to think that I'm actually getting better at something. This is a skill I should learn how to use from, me listening to all these mentors saying you should learn sales. So I didn't have a bad attitude towards it, but it just wasn't working out for me. What I did find what worked for me is instead of just cold calling somebody, I had way better conversion rates of just showing up to their doorstep unannounced with two cones and, trying to get them to buy these cones. And the reason I brought two cones, and it kind of just worked out that way, is because we do have two good cones in their own right. And this is how I basically teach night and day to them. So you really can't understand anything if you don't understand an opposing side to it. You can't understand night without day. So I have a cone. It's a more expensive cone, but the reason it's more expensive is because it has high intensity reflective sheeting, and it also has some paperwork behind it. The other cone is cheaper. However, it also has engineering grade, which is a step below high intensity, but it's cheaper, and that's better suited for other companies like a paving company, as opposed to the expensive cone. That's more for a traffic company that will need some paperwork behind it in order to get on that roadway. So I show them night and day cone, and I bring them both, even if I know that this is a paving company, they're better off buying the cheaper cone, but I show them the other cone just to show them and make the decision easier for them to buy. So that was a decision that I made to, I'm just going to, instead of putting my time on the phone, I'm just going to, use the company's money, which I was allowed to, and gas, and drive up to spots. And if they happen not to be available that day, it happens sometimes, I have my phone, I'll Google a spot next to them, and I'll try to sell to them as well. But that's what really helped me out. I think if you're having trouble with the cold call, if the company allows you, I think it's better just to, and I love, to travel and stuff like that. I don't mind being in my car, listening to music, and then I get there and now it's time to, make a sale. And if that one doesn't work, I go somewhere else and I just make it a whole day trip and I just go to places that are next to each other. But I think that if you're having trouble with cold calls, if the company allows you, it might be worth going in your car, driving to a company unannounced and showing them your product and then just talking to them and making, fellowship with them. So that's one of the first things I learned, and it really is working out for me. So me showing up to a doorstep with a cone is intentional sales. Also, me doing cold calls is intentional sales, but I have not yet figured out the passive sale of making conversions on our website. And that's why I created this channel, so I could share the things I learned from different ventures in my life. And as soon as I do figure that out, I will share with you guys. But we did figure out a passive sale technique, and it actually came from my older brother. He said, why don't you just post them on Facebook Marketplace? And I don't even have a Facebook, so I couldn't do it. But I did create a Facebook recently because of this, after I seen how successful it was. And I took the responsibility off my older brother. But Facebook Marketplace is a very amazing place where you could sell just about anything and they come pick it up. That's the best part about this. I don't have to package any cones. I don't have to get the logistics ready of shipping it to you. They come to show up on my doorstep with money and I give them the cones and they leave. So it's just perfect how it works out. And, I'm glad he discovered that. Also, the lesson here is, find the system where the people are at already instead of building your own. It is good to build your own, because eventually when things take off, you would want your own conversions. But going to Facebook Marketplace does make sense because it has an older demographic as well. So the decision makers are on Facebook, and they would also be friends with decision makers. So many times people who weren't even buying the cones, they just said, they would just, relay it back to somebody who would be interested. And it was from, word of mouth of how people found out about the cones. So that was amazing as well. So find a system that has the people and have them figure it out. And I had this idea with Amazon, but for some reason, Amazon's been giving me, hell of getting set up our brand. So it's been months of approval processes and I'm still not approved yet. So that's been an issue, but hopefully I could get that off the ground as well. But for now, Facebook Marketplace is doing amazing and I'm glad we discovered it. To sum this video up, the 3 major things I learned from year 2 of selling traffic equipment is show up in person when you could, bring night and day with you, 2 opposing products that they could comprehend the difference and easily make a decision. And then finally, put your product on a system that already exists where the people that are most likely to buy are there. But you should also have your own system as well for the future. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm just sharing things I learned as I go. Hope you found value in this. And by the grace of God, do your job. Thank you. Bye-bye.